Hello, spooky crew. Our tote bag drawing is officially closed, and we just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who entered. We are so grateful for the love and the support, and we have loved reading your reviews. Missed the tote? No worries. We're still sending out high-quality vinyl stickers while supplies last. Just email us proof of your rating and review along with your mailing address to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, and we'll get one headed your way. Quick promise, your address is only for mailing the sticker. No emails, no selling info, no funny business, just spooky gratitude. Thanks again for supporting the show. You are the reason we do this. You're listening to The Spooky Darlings, a podcast where three sisters unravel the dark, the haunted, and the downright chilling. I'm Nettie.
I'm Emily.
I'm Haley.
Tonight, Haley will tell us about the horrible murder of a celebrity hairstylist. Take it away, Haley.
Well, before we get to the murder, I have been doing hair for 14 years. And so today's topic is a little bit hair crimes. And as a hairstylist, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to talk a little bit about crime against hair. So a bad haircut, bad dye job. And I love my clients. I'm so lucky to have built such a wonderful clientele. So in my early days of doing hair, I did commit some hair crimes. When I was in hair school, I accidentally cut off 5 inches of this. She was so cute. 5 inches of her hair when she wanted a 1-inch trim.
I remember how upset you were. I remember this.
I do remember that. You were so sad.
It was just like one side up, and I just had to go grab an instructor, and she cried and I cried, and I will never forget her as long as I live. And so as your education continues while being a hairstylist, there are going to be some mess ups along the way, and nobody can bat 1,000. But my philosophy is just check your ego at the door. And if the client lets you fix a mess up, then wonderful. And if not, you got to move on. So as I was looking.
Do you guys remember a couple weeks ago when it was, I guess it must have been a couple months ago now, because it was when before school had gotten out, before the summer started, when Oliver came down having tried to give himself a fade, and he used Charlie's, my older son's, shaver, and he went straight down the center top of his head to the scalp, and then in on each side. It was I wanted to cry, I wanted to laugh. I did not even, it was so hard to fix that. That was a self-inflicted hair crime.
Yeah.
I know.
He
Poor
was
kid.
so cute. Oh, well, I mean, we all know the stories of Mom talking about how I always cut Kelsey's. Maybe I shouldn't say her whole name, but childhood
Just
friends.
say Kay Woodfield.
Perfect. That'll keep her very anonymous. I would always cut her bangs when she would come over, and her dad finally just was like, Marie, can my daughter please come over here one time and not get her hair cut?
I know, and Mom always tells the story it's really funny, but now that I'm a parent, I'm I bet he was pissed.
Yeah, I bet he was pissed too.
I would have been so mad.
Pissed. And that went into the speech at my wedding that Mom gave. And she was there.
Yes, but her father was not. He probably would have been it wasn't funny.
Not funny, Marie. So as I was looking for a case for this topic, and looking for someone who was breaking the law, I came across a lot of photos of people posting their haircuts that went wrong, or just when you over bleach somebody's hair and it just becomes super stringy, ramen noodle-ish, and just oh my gosh, what are people doing?
I just thought of a really good name for this episode.
What?
Crimes against hair manity, humanity, but it's hair, and then instead of man, it's mane, because mane's another name for hair. Hair manity.
That's a good starting point. Let's workshop it.
No, we got it.
A man does die at the end of this episode, so.
Crimes against hair manity.
Hair manity.
Spoiler alert.
A man may or may not die at the end of this episode.
Stay tuned.
Content warning.
Stay tuned to find out.
Content warning. We are talking about murder.
At some
as we
point.
stated in the beginning.
So there's another side of hair crimes, which is hair forensics, and that can be when hair helps solve a crime. So if a perpetrator leaves their hair at the crime scene, if a victim's hair is found in the home of like where the crime is committed or in the trunk of a car. So for this hair to actually help like solve the crime, the most helpful thing is DNA, right?
Yeah.
And for the DNA to be extracted from a hair, the root has to be attached. And so,
Okay. So there's no DNA within the strand?
correct. Yeah. So
Yet.
if it's no root, I mean, with how technology works, who knows? Maybe one day. But as of when I did this research, no, the root has to be attached to have any DNA. So how is hair used in forensics, you ask?
I do ask.
I do ask.
I wonder.
Thank you.
How do they, I've heard of things like a blonde hair was found at the scene or a red hair. And I remember this crime. It was in a People magazine years ago where there was like this murder. And then they thought it was like the like ex-girlfriend of this man that killed his new girlfriend and she was pregnant, or like killed her and like her newly born child or something. But they were like, but we found hair at the scene in the victim's fist and it was the wrong color. But then they saw a picture of her earlier where she had dyed her hair and then dyed it back.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That would be really hard on your hair.
You know what? I always
Yeah.
keep thinking about that episode of The Sopranos where Tony Soprano visited Italy and that woman mafia boss was clipping her toenails. Like she kept all of her toenails and hairs.
Ew.
Because to burn them so that her enemies couldn't take them and do witchcraft to make her have bad fortune. Do you remember this?
Wait, you can do witchcraft with people's toenails?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it.
I haven't tried it either.
But that's what I had learned from The Sopranos.
What?
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
That's gross, but... So, anyways, moving on. How is hair used in forensics? So, nuclear DNA analysis can be done on human hairs. The root section assists the DNA section by screening hairs and determining their suitability for DNA testing, making sure the hair is not too degraded. And a microscope is used to examine the root end of the hairs in order to determine if they are suitable. And so now we ask, what does nuclear DNA tell us?
I actually had a question.
Yeah.
What does nuclear DNA tell us?
I'm so glad you asked. Thank you. So, nuclear DNA is known as the molecule of life and contains the genetic instructions for the development of all eukaryotic organisms. It is found in almost every cell in the human body, with exceptions such as red blood cells. And so everyone has a unique genetic blueprint, even identical twins. So if your hair isn't too degraded, the structure of it can be used to determine if a certain person was present for a crime, whether they were the perpetrator or the victim.
Okay.
And listeners, if I'm wrong, let us know at thespookydarlings@gmail.com.
Also, if she's right, let us know.
That'd be great if you have something to add.
Dear Spooky Darlings, I listened to your email about DNA and you are right.
Those are my favorite emails. So then there's hair analysis, which isn't as helpful for a crime because it's not exact, like DNA can be exact. So Nettie, kind of like you were saying, the victim had some hair in their fist, but it didn't match the perpetrator. But they later found out the perpetrator dyed their hair, right? And so this hair analysis thing would not be very viable for that because it would not match the perpetrator, even though maybe the DNA can match the perpetrator. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like, oh, this is a brown hair, but our perpetrator has blonde hair, you know? So someone testifying about a hair analysis can talk about how two hairs are microscopically consistent, which I would think would be anecdotal evidence, not proof like DNA would be. And so as a hairstylist, I do have those morbid thoughts of like, I constantly have other people's hair on me. And so
Which is
what
why
if
you
I was
can get away
accused
with
of a crime?
You can totally get away with murder. Because you can be like, no, I'm a hairstylist.
Your Honor, I always have other people's hair on me, okay?
Wasn't there a Lifetime movie where somebody like took hair from a hairbrush from somebody else and took it to a crime scene? Do you remember this?
That sounds
Like,
familiar.
I can't remember the
I
details.
read a book where somebody did that, like gathered hair from hairbrushes and blood from tampons.
Oh.
Oh, I remember what it was
whispered
called.
tampons, but closer to the microphone.
Hair from a hairbrush and also tampons. It was a fictional book, but it was to just put all of this extra DNA all over a crime scene that she was committing.
Gross.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
really weird.
It is really gross, and I might cut that out.
It's up to you.
Oh, follow your heart on that one. Until we learn how to edit better.
Listen,
You're
yeah,
a
that's
resident
right.
editor.
And then if we do cut it out, we'll be like, sorry, we cut that out. It was just a story about tampons.
Nothing to see here.
And then everyone will think it was something else.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, so after all of that, today I'm covering the murder of Fabio Sementilli. He was a celebrity hairstylist and vice president of education of the cosmetics company Coty, Coty. Fabio was born on July 13th, 1967 in Toronto, Canada, and he was a helper. He was a person who just liked to help the people that he was around, and a person that you felt yourself like gravitating towards, wanting to get to know. He and his sister were very close. They even worked together.
Aww.
And so beginning his career in Toronto, Canada, and he worked very hard. He entered like any hair competition he could across the globe, and he came out as the winner in many of them. Then finding his second wife, Monica, they met in Toronto, Canada, and then like finding success, he moves to Southern California and is more of the LA hair scene. And he is a known celebrity hairstylist. He has a son, Luigi, with his first wife, and his second wife, Monica. They have 2 teen daughters. And so Isabella and Jessica. And everyone always expressed how they felt so welcome in the Sementilli home, and just like loved ones gathering. And you could always count on food and drinks and laugh and stories.
Just a good time.
Just a really good time. Like the kind of house I know that you guys don't want this, but the house that I would like. It's very welcoming.
I want
Just kidding.
My welcome. I guess I'm not even going to call it a welcome mat. My entrance mat says "Don't come in," and "Don't" is underlined.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
With a big X.
Do not
X
enter.
marks the
Mine
spot.
just says vampires not welcome, so they don't even bother.
They don't even bother.
Oh, there goes my chance of visiting. I'll come in the back door. I did have a question.
You both have very welcoming homes.
What do hair competitions look like? How
So-
do you win one?
Well, sometimes it's like a creative cut. And so there are some hair competitions where I've seen hairstylists hanging upside down while they're doing a haircut. And it's like pretty crazy.
Have you thought about hosting a hair competition here with the local stylists? I'll be the judge and you'll win. No one will know that we've pre-planned it.
I have not, but we can get back to that.
What if you have
So-
a competition called Danger Cuts where you're on stilts?
Oh, that is danger.
It's terrible. Somebody's gonna die.
I like
Yeah.
skateboard,
Yeah.
but it's like you have to skate back and forth behind the client and you only get one swipe of a haircut each time you pass.
That sounds like murder.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me of when I used to be in charge of brushing Haley's hair, and I'd have to chase her and swipe at her hair with the brush every time I got close enough.
And that is the birth of Haley's interest in becoming a hair stylist.
my lack of wanting to brush it and my very keen interest in cutting others' hair. And so from everything I gathered, it was a very consistent thing that Fabio was a happy, welcoming guy who loved his family and his life.
Nice.
And so on January 23rd, 2017, Fabio Sementilli's 16-year-old daughter discovered him on his patio, stabbed to death.
Oh.
And at first, the police considered it a burglary gone wrong. There was a known like burglar team or something that the police had dubbed the knock knock burglars.
What?
Or the knock knock robberies.
Write them down.
And
We should investigate those.
and in the video footage, they always had their like hoodies like super securely tied on their heads and faces, so you like couldn't see them, and then they would just like very like like very known manner like go through the house in and out very quick with, and they would leave with cash, jewelry, safes. And so these two robberies, at first the police were like, oh, well, it's probably the knock-knock
Did they have
burglars.
cameras that showed?
The Sementillis had outside cameras.
Okay.
So, and that's going to...
So the knock knock burglars hadn't been violent at this point, right? Up to
They
this
had never
point?
been violent. Nobody was home when they would do these raids. Like, and they even robbed some celebrities' houses, like Alanis Morissette was one of them.
Oh.
And
I just got to say, you ought to know not to rob.
you ought to
You ought to know not to rob Alanis
Rob
Morissette.
Alanis Morissette. And so at first it looked like that, but then the police investigated a little further.
I just want to point out that I started the sentence over so I could say it correctly. So in editing, I could cut out me saying it incorrectly. And then you overlapped me saying it, make an exaggeration of how I said it the first time.
But that's part of the fun. So, and then the police investigating it, they discovered, well, Fabio had an $8,000 Rolex on his wrist that the supposed robbers didn't take. There was a safe with a bunch of cash and valuables in it that the robbers didn't take. But the
Planned this
house
murder.
did look ransacked. And so then the police arrived to the conclusion of this was staged. And this was a very calculated murder. And so as the police uncovered things, they uncovered an affair, they uncovered a sex offender, and a trusting husband. Ooh. So Fabio's wife, Monica, was taking racquetball lessons from a man named Robert Baker. And during the memorial celebrating the life of her murdered husband, there were... Robert Baker is attending the memorial of Fabio at their house.
Right.
And a lot of people noticed that Robert and Monica were a little too close for comfort. Ooh. It made a lot of other people uncomfortable. And it was just, this man does not belong. Right. He's not part of this family.
He wasn't friends with Fabio. Okay.
And even later, the sister, Fabio's sister, would say, like, I just noticed Monica was suddenly gone, and I found her just standing in a corner with this guy I didn't know, smoking a cigarette and drinking. And so it just felt very weird. And it felt so weird that people took photos of this man. And then they sent them to the police. And the police see in the photo that Robert Baker has a bandage on one of his fingers. So who is Robert Baker?
So these were like photos unbeknownst to Robert and Monica. So people got so kind of weirded out by the way they were, their body language and the way they were together, that they're like, I'm snapping photos of this because they were actually suspicious.
Yes.
Okay.
Even Fabio's son, Luigi.
And what year was this?
2017.
Okay.
He was murdered January 23rd of 2017. So who is Robert Baker? At the time, he was a sought-after racquetball coach. Many of Monica's friends went to Robert for lessons. And one of Monica's close friends said that, like, she was the reason why Monica even started racquetball lessons with Robert in the first place. Oh. And she said, like, she always kind of had, like, a little innocent crush on this guy. But, you know, like, she was like, I'm married and, you know, just busy. I also don't have affairs. Okay, anyways.
I'm married and also too busy for an affair.
Busy. So before Robert was a racquetball coach, Robert was in the adult film industry.
Oh.
A former friend of Robert's from the porn industry commented that Robert was always very nice and he had a good attitude, which made me chuckle.
He's the can-do kind of guy for those videos.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just ready to just, you know.
Ready for a lot of hard work today.
And She later said she didn't know of his criminal record of lewd, lascivious acts with a minor that he was charged and convicted of, which makes him a convicted sex offender.
Oh, no.
When she later found out about the crime, she cut off the friendship with Robert. And so Robert's
But
victim...
did she find out about the crime before or after the murder of...
Before the murder, but after her working relationship with him.
Got it. Okay.
Robert's victim was his teenage stepdaughter.
Oh, that's who his relationship with a minor?
Lewd and lascivious acts.
Lewd and lascivious, yes.
And so he goes to prison for
Gross.
that. And after he's out, he and his stepdaughter get married.
Oh.
And so that obviously is a situation of grooming.
Okay,
he
Woody
normalized,
Allen.
he normalized a sexual relationship with a person who was supposed to be able to trust him as a caregiver, and he perverted it. So gross, Robert Baker, you suck.
Well,
I hate
it sounds
you.
like he not only did it, but then apparently started a relationship with Monica. I don't know if that was like while he was still married to his stepdaughter, but
No.
apparently it didn't last. It wasn't true love.
So just hold on. This is while he's in the adult porn industry. It gets worse. He and his stepdaughter do films together.
I don't like that at all.
No.
Gross.
And so
Oh gosh, the poor girl's mother. Can you just
And
imagine?
the poor girl. All around. It's just
Yes.
bad choices.
Yes.
he is a person who took advantage, and that obviously the biggest victim in that situation is the stepdaughter.
Yeah,
and then
it is.
of course the mom is collateral damage. Of course, also we don't know like how that whole thing went down, so I didn't look into it. I don't want to, but the biggest victim is the stepdaughter.
Absolutely. You're right.
And so this Robert guy is the worst. And okay, I did find out. So that all went down in the 90s. So that is way before he ever met Monica. So he gets
Okay.
out of the adult film industry and eventually ends up teaching racquetball at a fitness club near Monica's home. So now we're going to talk about Monica's double life. I would have done like a bit more of a dive into that whole thing of like get a little more details on Robert and that situation, but kind of just had to move on. He's a racquetball coach. Monica and Robert meet when he becomes her racquetball coach, and they had an affair that lasted a year and a half, which results in Robert stabbing Fabio to death.
Oh.
So, at first, investigators thought this was a robbery gone wrong, like I said. House was ransacked, but the robbers left behind very valuable items that are very easily attainable. So that's how it's not a robbery gone wrong. This was a very calculated murder. So from the Sementilli house, there is, not from the Sementilli house, actually from a neighbor's house. Security footage has two men approaching the house and then Fabio's Porsche driving away. And at this point, the police don't know about the affair. Okay, and so for months, Fabio's death, the family is mourning, and it goes until 6 months after Fabio's murder that the investigators got some solid evidence that could finally lead them to the arrest of Robert Baker, because they have actually been looking at him as the suspect for a while.
Oh, okay.
And also they think Monica is involved. And so
they didn't know about the affair, but were clued in on it, and then he became a suspect?
eventually.
Okay.
So right when I kind of worded that poorly. Right when they got that security footage, the police did not know about the affair.
They thought it was the knock-knock robbers. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then they came to, from observing Monica and from observing Robert, because remember, people sent photos of Robert from the memorial. Uh-huh. And so observing them, the police find out, these two are involved. And they've been involved for a while.
Okay. Do you think that Monica and Robert knew about the knock-knock robbers and were like, do you think, is that an element here, or is that just a coincidence?
That's a possibility.
I think so. Well, especially if it was staged with two guys wearing hoodies dressed like just like the knock-knock robbers. Mm-hmm. I bet that they plotted it to look like them.
I think it's a very high possibility. I didn't hear anything about them saying that because
That specifically, okay.
Monica, she still like says she's innocent to this day. And Robert, in his testimony, says that Monica didn't know. But as I will tell you soon, there is a lot of evidence that they are liars.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, already, don't trust either of them.
So Fabio, I just want to say this because we haven't addressed it yet. Fabio is such an immaculate name for a celebrity hairstylist. Like, what a great name. And like,
Great name.
Robert is such a downgrade, right? Like, why would you choose Robert the racquetball player
Yeah.
over
and
Fabio the fabulous?
if you look up Fabio, like he just looks like a guy that you're just like, I would love to be your friend. He looks like so much fun.
And I'm not super familiar with this case, but I do remember hearing that he was just like loved far and wide. Like he was very much like revered in the industry.
And also his wife. He loved his wife. Talking about his wife, he called her his queen. And like his sister says that she witnessed this on more than one occasion. He would come home and put everything down and just grab Monica and dance with her. Like he loved her. And so like
Was
that,
she
like
in the middle of something though?
Monica?
Was she in the No, I'm just joking. Cut that out. I was just making a joke. Like maybe she was frustrated. If I'm in the middle of something else and somebody tries to dance with me,
Gotcha.
let's cut that.
Right. No.
We're trying
I know what you mean.
and we are trying to find a motive.
yeah.
That would be a motive.
If I'm chopping stuff, and somebody comes behind me to try to dance with me,
Exactly.
there's a knife in one hand and I'm frustrated. I mean, you know.
Like, thank you for the hug. Now is not the time.
Is it your fault or mine?
The truth is, Brent really never interrupts my tasks. I think I probably interrupt his tasks more often than he interrupts mine. I'm like, oh, hi. He's like, I've got all this stuff. I'm like, I'm just going to hug you. You just hold still.
It's like, I got these 2 bags.
Don't worry. You don't even need to participate. I will just hug you.
Okay. Oh, so when I first wrote up these notes, I had not watched the court TV like 48 hours or something like that. No, it'll be in the show notes. So while police are following them and like tracking them in their investigation, the police record Monica saying to Robert, because the police had managed to get a recording device in her car, like under the, I can't remember what they used as like the ruse to get a recording device in their car, but they did. And Monica is heard saying, somebody must have talked. Somebody is doing this to us. They have something. They must have something.
Well, who would know besides her and Robert?
The third guy.
Oh, but it sounds to me like maybe people didn't even talk. They just were more obvious than they thought. Being affectionate at the wake.
Exactly.
Dummies.
And so they for sure like kind of told on themselves right there. And so with all of this evidence and having Robert's DNA on file from his previous conviction of being a sex offender, they're able to run his DNA and it matches the DNA found in Fabio's Porsche and at the crime scene.
Oh, because his hand was cut.
His hand was cut.
So I bet they found blood.
And so...
Wait, so he stole the car? I think I missed that part. Robert stole the Porsche, or somebody stole the Porsche?
Robert and his accomplice stole the Porsche. Yes.
That's what the neighbor's footage showed, was the 2 men walking up and then driving away in the Porsche.
Driving away.
Oh, sorry.
And the
Okay,
Porsche
I
was
pay
abandoned.
attention to footage. When people start talking about footage,
You're locked in.
She's running that
locked in.
shit in her head.
You're like, now it feels like the footage is right here
I'm like, footage.
in my brain.
Right up there. So finally, on June 14th, Robert and Monica are both arrested for the murder of Fabio Sementilli. And Chris Austin, who was the third man, would eventually be arrested and charged with second-degree murder he was just like, there is a bit of a lookout, and unfortunately was wrapped up in this whole thing.
And who is he to either of them?
I actually never found out in like any article.
His name is Chris Austin.
Chris
I
Austin.
wonder if he was also in the adult film industry.
That's what I was wondering.
Maybe give it a
someone-
goog.
I wonder.
And so Monica was considered to be the woman orchestrating everything behind the scenes. And
Regular Jen McCabe, one might say.
regular Jen McCabe. And so Robert and Monica were using encrypted apps to communicate. They used WhatsApp and Viber. And Monica gave Robert the family's home security system's private login credentials the day that they had their system installed. It was like quite a few months beforehand. Like, she immediately gave Robert all of the information, username, login info, password, everything.
So do you think that they had been dating and then they made the plan to do this and she was like, well, let's get a camera system and make it look like the Knock Knock robbers. Mm-hmm. But then we have to let a few months go by because we can't get the camera system. And then I give you, the information and it's the day before.
I mean,
Maybe. I wonder if because if they got that installed months before, I just wonder if it was part of it. If she gave him that stuff immediately.
Okay, hear this. Christopher Austin, who was working as a parole and probation officer.
What? Chris, you should know better.
Chris.
Yes. Dealing with at-risk youth in Oregon at the time of his arrest, he pleaded no contest.
Oh.
So, I don't see an adult film connection, but he was a probation officer. He knew better. He should not have gotten
What were
mixed
you
up in
doing,
any
Chris?
of this.
Honestly, sometimes I feel like these people that work in law enforcement feel like they know crime so well that they feel like they'd be able to get away with it.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, buddy, follow my lead. I'll make sure you get away with all this and you can be with your lady.
So Austin was a longtime friend of Baker. So I'm just reading straight from this article that I found. Yeah, Robert Baker. Austin testified that his longtime friend Baker told him that Sementilli wanted her husband dead, but Austin acknowledged that he did not personally speak to her about the crime.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I'm wondering if Robert gave him some kind of sob story about like an abusive marriage or something to make Chris feel justified, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe.
Perhaps.
Yeah, could be.
That happens a lot.
Ugh, man. Because, like a third person can be roped in. I feel like on so many crimes you just hear about that of like, I didn't quite know everything that was going down, but it was framed as this. So
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was helping.
Yeah, if you asked me to help you with a crime, yeah, no questions asked. I'm like, yes, I will help you.
Yeah.
Probably not with murder because I'd be like, Haley, come on, we're going to get caught. But like, some other crime, I don't know.
Yeah.
Embezzlement. No, Haley, we're going to get caught. Please quit trying to convince me to do crimes with you. Bank robbery? Oh my gosh. It's so funny.
we gotta talk about this
Emily is so
later.
focused on something else, but it would be so funny if a bank robbery happened like tomorrow and then they're like, and the two sisters were talking about a bank
On their
robbery
podcast.
the day before.
Just the day before.
Guess what? Joke's on you, bank people.
This
We
isn't
do
going to
not
be posted yet.
we do not have the skill set. Yeah, but forensics, computer forensics, there's like a special name for it. I don't remember what it is. We'll be able to tell when we were talking about this exactly. When they look back at it.
Nettie, I'm not a magician, okay? I just
That's
don't
what
know.
it's called, magician forensics. Okay.
All right,
Back to the murder.
Back to murder. Okay, so Monica, like way ahead of time, had given Robert all of that login information for their security system. And also, Robert knew exactly where to go to like rip out the security system from like where it was operating from.
Oh, so he did that too?
Well, and the person who would know the information to give him, it would be Monica.
Yeah.
She's still saying she's innocent. She was found guilty in a court of law. So, but who knows? I feel like I know. Okay, so up until the arrest, Monica had been outwardly grieving. And like Fabio's sister, I don't think I got her name. She just seems so passionate and like like I held you while you were grieving your husband, and like my mother held you while you were grieving your husband, and all this while you were being held by another man, like, and like just calls her all sorts of names in her like victim impact statement.
Deservedly
Terrible.
Poor girl.
And so all of that time, so Monica is meeting up with Robert. And so I just have to say this, Monica, if you were innocent, it's really weird that your husband is murdered, but you're still so focused on being with this man who's gross.
Yeah. He probably would try to start a relationship with your teenage daughter, Monica. Did that occur to you, dummy?
Okay, I think I got the arrest time of Monica a little mixed up because Robert is arrested first, and Monica is writing him letters while he is in jail, signing, "Love your wifey, Monica Baker, till death."
That is psycho.
Yeah, she was involved.
1,000%.
Because if she wasn't involved and then he had killed her husband and she didn't know about it, she would have been like, gosh, I know that you and I liked each other, but I didn't want you to murder.
Man, don't do that.
That is watertight logic.
Thank you.
And I think we should become like professional investigators.
Like magicians?
Based on this.
Yeah.
Crime magicians is what I think.
Professional
That's what I prefer.
investigative
Crime
magicians. That's what I was going to call it, an investigative magician.
Crime magicians.
Yeah, we double use the M. Like,
Yes.
people might get confused and think it's crime magicians, and we'll be like, no, dummy. Crime magicians.
Crime. So it's becoming more and more clear that she and Robert killed Fabio for the $1.6 million life insurance policy Monica would get in the event of Fabio's death. So while Monica didn't actually wield the knife that killed Fabio, she certainly contributed to the circumstances that led to it. And so she either helped disable the security system because it was one of those remote things that you can have on your phone.
Oh, well, would there be records on her phone?
So I did not read anything that had that information. So I'm wondering, like, was there some way she deleted that? But while Robert Baker and Chris were breaking into Monica's house to kill Fabio, Monica is at a nearby Target. Now, before she enters this Target, there's a few minutes of her on a security footage parked in her car, and a person hops into her car and they chat for a little while, and then that person hops back out and moves on their way, and then Monica goes into the Target.
So they couldn't tell who it was, or male or female?
Exactly. The security footage is too grainy, but the timeline lines up with Robert Baker and Chris breaking into the Sementilli home.
So she was trying to be on security footage at Target during the time of the crime?
Exactly. And she was. And what they noticed on that security footage is that Monica was very interested on streaming something from her phone. And the IP address is connected to her home, like, IP address.
So she was watching?
And so it is like the amount of data coming through on her phone matches streaming video. Was she watching the surveillance footage?
That is so dark.
Oh my gosh.
That is so dark.
So dark.
And did she stay tuned to watch her daughter discover the body of her father?
So I do believe that no, she was no longer on her phone at that point. And all of the security footage does point to the outside of the house. So she wasn't watching her husband be murdered, but it seems she sure as shit, in my opinion, that she was watching the circumstances around her husband getting murdered. So Robert Baker ended up pleading no contest and serving life in prison without the possibility of parole while still maintaining Monica had nothing to do with the murder.
What does no contest mean? It just means like I'm not contesting it.
Yeah, he's not pleading guilty, but he still is not pleading innocent.
It's kind of like, if you say so.
Like, I guess.
If you say so, I did it. I mean,
If that's what you think.
maybe I did, maybe I didn't. You tell me. Mm-hmm. That's no contest. Emily's looking it up.
Yeah. Well, your enactment of your theory is riveting.
If you think I'm good at that, you should see me double fisting cougars.
I have seen it. Okay, it just, yes. No contest is where a defendant accepts the charges against them without admitting guilt. They just accept the
Sorry,
charges.
would you say that again so I can focus on it instead of reenacting double fisting cougars?
Okay, yes.
Okay, one more time. Okay, I will edit out that part. Go.
No contest is a legal plea where a defendant accepts the charges against them without admitting guilt.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of what I was saying. He was like, if you say so.
Yeah, that's the hillbilly way of saying it, and I like it.
Oh, I was trying to do it like, I don't know. Never mind.
Like-
I don't want to offend anyone from any state. There was an accent I was trying.
Is it racquetball accent? Because that one's really hard to get.
Want to.
If you be thinking so. Racquetball. If you be thinking so.
Oh, I'm less familiar than you are with that.
So, Monica, she pleads not guilty, maintained her innocence, and she has been held in prison since 2017. And in June of 2025, she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Well, Monica, I guess you're regretting your great plan.
Yeah.
Foolproof, she thought.
Don't you feel like so often, like, the whole parole thing is just, like, thrown out the window, though? Like, life sentence without the possibility of parole. Like, don't people get paroled all the time, even when they have a life sentence without the possibility of parole?
I feel like that comes in with their appeals.
Oh,
So they can appeal the conviction. And
I think it's just giving the parole board a job. Mm-hmm. Like, we need a... Well, let's get some people that don't have parole up here for parole. Let's just see.
Okay,
See what happens.
On a related note, did you guys see that the Menendez brothers did not get their parole?
You sent me that.
you texted that.
Like, they did not get out on parole. And guess what? It was because...
Yes, and you wrote Melendez.
Yeah, I did, because I wasn't trying to correct my typing.
But
Listen,
I knew who you meant. Okay, tell us
yeah,
why.
you did. It was because of bad behavior in prison.
Oh.
They've been using drugs and beating people up in prison, and it wasn't really anything to do with their case. It was because they were behaving poorly in prison.
Hey, Eric.
That's why they were both denied parole.
God, that's why you should have good behavior.
So you got to be nice all the time.
You never know who you're beating up and the power they might have someday.
Yeah, it's true.
And you never know when using drugs in jail might just come back to bite you in the butt, you know?
How are drugs getting into jail? Don't say smuggled in someone's butt. I don't want that to be true.
It might be.
Ooh, that might be.
I don't know.
Also, sometimes
I don't know. It seems like it happens.
You just...
Sometimes some of them just get in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? Drugs in prison.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I went on a Menendez brothers tangent, but that happened like this week.
I will have to look at that. That sounds interesting to read about.
Back to Fabio.
So, victim impact statements from Fabio's daughters. They still stand by their mother and they will continue to fight for her innocence. And Fabio's sister goes on to call Monica a sleazeball and is so disgusted at the evil she brought into their lives, accusing her of manipulating her nieces and dishonoring Fabio's legacy. She called her a stupid bitch and then, addressing her directly, said, "Monica, you are a demon. She can't even look at me. Your actions and deceit has told us so. I hope your blood money is used on meds. You pretended to mourn Fabio." So,
Wow, I wonder
it's just
how...
really torn the family apart.
I wonder how the relationship is with her nieces, because it sounds like the nieces have now lost both parents. So I'm wondering,
her aunt and their aunts from Fabio's side. She went on to talk about it. Like, the mother's side of the family has really treated Fabio's side of the family as if they are other, and they've really circled the wagons in their own family, and just have really told the girls that your mother is innocent, your mother, everything is lies type of a thing. And it's just but this evidence that the police have says otherwise. Your mom I'm sorry seems like she is not a good person
It's awful.
Yeah.
and helped murder your father.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day they'll come to look at it. Who knows? I mean, also,
Also, maybe
who knows?
new evidence will surface. Maybe Monica is innocent. I don't know, but her actions after her husband's murder and after Robert's arrest for his murder just really say to me she knew exactly what was going on. And that is my opinion. So I did see Fabio's, yeah, it's awful. I did look up Fabio's last Facebook post that he posted just before his tragic death, a tragic murder. He posted celebrating 30 years of hairstyling, 30 years of like being in the beauty industry. He goes on to say, 30 years ago today, I received my hairstylist certification and my professional career started with optimism, an immigrant family work ethic with no pedigree in hairdressing to speak of, but I had a strong conviction with hopes and dreams.
Oh, that's really sweet.
And then after his death, Fabio's sister posted on Facebook about her brother. You left behind precious memories that we will forever hold close to our hearts. I will never accept the suffering they put you through because being your older sister meant experiencing all your pain with you. I'm so hurt and I hope you will give me strength and guidance to live the life you are so proud of.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
And just, it's like sibling relationships. There's nothing like it. And you can just like tell through her, watching her victim impact statement in the courts and, like reading her Facebook posts about her brother. She was really close with him.
Oh.
And so there are so many people who remember the amazing person that Fabio was, his family, friends, students, and clients who will always be grateful and so lucky that their paths crossed. And that is the story of Fabio Sementilli and his tragic murder.
Wow. Wow. Haley, that was really good.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh, my heart just breaks. But it breaks for those girls. I mean, what a tough position to be in, to have your father taken from you. All evidence points to your mom, but it just might be too much for them to like admit that it could be possible.
Exactly.
It kind of reminds me of The Staircase. If you know that case, like his daughters all stand by him too. But like the evidence, I don't know. That one's...
The evidence wishy-washy.
Yeah, it's wishy-washy because I'm not completely ready to like disregard the owl theory. I know most people are, but wishy-washy, but it's a little bit surprising.
No, but there's that book that came out, Talons of Death or something that we need to read and talk about.
Okay, we will, because this one, The Staircase. It just reminds me of that. It's like, when I heard that the girls were standing by him, I was kind of like, I bet that it's like they cannot look at the possibility of losing their father along with their mother. And I think that that's the case here too. It's just like, it's too much. It's like the cognitive dissonance,
I think so.
Is that the right word? It's like the opposite of cognitive dissonance. It's like you're not... What's it called?
No, I think it's cognitive dissonance,
right.
where like you can't hold two things together in your... I mean, like, you have to try to figure out how to hold two opposing ideas in your mind.
I think the thing I'm looking for, confirmation bias. That's what I'm looking for. It's almost like confirmation bias. Like it's too much to believe that this thing is true. So I'm only going to look at the things that tell me that the thing that's more palatable for me, the thing that I've already bought into, which is, my mother's love, is the right one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Haley, good job.
He just seemed like such a nice guy, and it's
pretty terrible.
just so tragic.
Poor Fabio. Yeah, that is really sad. I remember like it coming out in the news, like when he was murdered. I didn't know who he was, but because he was like a celebrity stylist, it was news. And then I remember seeing last, like, did you say December or January?
December was when her trial finally.
Yeah, just like last December when.
I think it was postponed because the conviction came down just this last June of 2025. So I think it was just maybe April is when her trial actually started.
Okay. Nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Haley, good job.
Thank you.
Nice.
Well, shall we
Shall we call it?
Yeah, we can wrap it up. So thank you for listening. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok at the Spooky Darlings Podcast. And if you have any questions, comments, corrections, or stories of your own, like do you have any botched haircut stories, email us at thespookydarlings@gmail.com.
Oh, and
if you like what...
if you have botched haircut stories, we want photos that go with them.
Yes, please.
Oh, yes, please. And if you like what you just listened to, please do us a quick favor. Take 10 seconds to rate, review, and click that follow button to our podcast. It really helps us out with getting visibility on the apps. Tell your friends. Stay spooky, darlings. Goodbye.
Goodbye. 5 stars. Before we disappear into the shadows, don't forget, we're still sending out vinyl stickers. Leave us a rating and review and email us proof to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, along with your mailing address, and we'll send you some spooky snail mail while supplies last. And if your heart is still mourning that tote bag, may we gently tempt your way toward our merch store at thespookydarlings.printful.me. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Thanks for listening. And as always, stay spooky.